So there was a time there where like when I started trading, man, my life went to absolute hell. I lost everything. Within a few years of trading, I found myself $250,000 in debt. I had to sell my house that I just recently bought. I had to sell my cars. I had to move in with my mother and father-in-law. I lost a lot of friends. I had my mother and father-in-law tell me that I shouldn't be getting involved with trading and stuff like that. And man, it was tough, right? Because like when I first started trading, it was like, oh man, I really wanted to do really well. And it wasn't so much trading the market at that time that I enjoyed, but I wanted to get out of the rat race. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it so bad. And it was just so tough for me because, you know, at the time, like I grew up in a landscape gardening business, and so I really, really, really wanted it. And when I first got introduced to the stock market and trading, man, it cost me so much, you know what I mean? Like sleepless nights and staying up at night. And there's one night there where I actually blew $250,000 in debt. I actually borrowed that and lost that. And then I borrowed some money from my father-in-law, and within one night I blew up 50% of my trading account, and I went to bed just crying and crying and crying. I've been trading markets now for 20 years, and that was about within the first 5 years I went through all of that, you know what I mean? Like losing all the money and father-in-law and stuff like that. And I remember just going to bed crying and crying and crying. I'm just like, I want this so bad. And I remember sitting there with my now ex-wife, and I just said to her, I remember sitting there just saying, I just want this so much, you know? And I just really, 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 really want this, you know? And oh man, I felt like a failure so much, you know what I mean? I felt so bad at the time because 6 months prior to all this going down, I actually married my ex-wife. We bought a house. I promised her father that I was going to take care of her, and here I was not being able to take care of my wife. Didn't have anything. I'm $250,000 in debt and almost about to face bankruptcy. So I feel like I feel ashamed now that I'm not a man to be able to take care of my wife. And that made me feel bad. And then and then I blew up 50% of my trading account with borrowing money from my father-in-law to try to get back on top of my feet. And man, it was tough, you know, and I tried so hard to get out of it, and staying up late at night and spending hours and hours and hours just trying to figure out this game and try to get ahead in life. And man, it was tough, you know, because when I first got introduced to the stock market and trading, I had no idea like about anything, you know what I mean? And so I went down this big sort of path of discovery of all the different indicators and methods and systems and processes and mindset training and psychology and trade management and risk management and trading systems and scalping systems and swing trading systems and reversal systems and indicators and you name it, you know what I mean? And because you just don't know, you know what I mean? So you go down this big sort of, you know, rabbit hole, as they call it, of just trying to figure it out. And man, I felt so bad at that time, you know, because now this is going back a bit over 15 years ago. And at the time, I remember just asking my father-in-law if I could move in, and he had a spare bedroom, and he just had a mattress on the floor, and that's where me and my wife at the time we slept. And here I was feeling so ashamed, and then now realizing that I have my first son coming along the way as well. And here I am, completely just ashamed of myself, you know? $250,000 in debt, nothing to my name. I can't be the man trying to protect my wife and protect and provide. I'm not being the man that I promised her to be. And then now, who am I? Who am I as going to be a father? Am I going to be a drop dead father who's going to be bankrupt and not be able to take care of my son? Like, what is this all about? And then on top of all of that guilt and shame and everything that I went through in those first 5 years. And then suddenly I lost so many friends at the time. Well, actually, more importantly, I pulled away from all these people because I wanted it so bad, and everyone kept telling me that it was gambling, it was risky, and who do I think I am, and I don't have any degrees, and all this sort of stuff. And I remember my father-in-law telling me, like, why don't you go get a real job like most people? And then I lost so many friends, and I left my church at the time, and 15-year friendships and so on and so forth, that I had to retreat so much. I had to retreat and retreat. And it was especially the night when I stayed up all night trading the futures market with borrowed money from my father-in-law. And when I went to bed that morning, because I went to bed in the morning because I traded the futures all night, and my wife was just getting up just to go to work. And I remember sitting there just crying and crying and crying because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to make money from this thing, you know, and I wanted it so bad. And it was one of the most challenging, and that was the time where I almost quit. I was many years into trading, $250,000 in debt, and this is what I got to show for it. And this is what I find that a lot of traders go to this. They get to this point where they're like, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm buying courses, I'm buying programs, I'm going to seminars and programs and all these systems and so on and so forth, and I'm trying to figure this game out. And I was about to quit. And everyone has this, what I believe, this turn back moment, right? Like, because success, the path to the journey of becoming good at something, it can be shortened by having a mentor. And that's the reason why I have programmed, because I now take what's taking me 20 years to figure out, to then hopefully, instead of getting people to go down the same path, hopefully I can shorten. My goal is to, and that's the reason why my coaching is for a whole 12 months, because I really want to take you through the whole process of the emotions and the fear and the greed and cutting losses short and letting your profits run and getting the right entries and so on and so forth, right? Like all these different things that goes into it. That's why I have a 12-month coaching program myself. But the whole thing about like that turn back moment is like, that was my turn back moment, which means like I was about to quit and I was about to give up. And long story short, I didn't, and I started getting access to like a really successful trader. We're talking like a 7-figure trader. And I started to realize that if I actually wanted to really do really well out of trading and actually start to get ahead in trading, I have to really start to treat this serious and have a lot more, and actually have a bit of a discipline behind me, because the way that I was approaching the market, the way that I was thinking about the markets, it was just all wrong. And yeah, then it came a point in time where I just realized that I have to start treating this seriously, start treating this with some respect and discipline, because I had no discipline, and discipline simply means like I wasn't even following a system. And I looked at my mentor, and my mentor said the reason why I do really well is because I just follow the few handful of patterns that I believe in, and when they appear, I trade them, and I make money from that way. And something happened to me within a few years of getting access to him. That's when everything started to shift for me. It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow process of figuring out exactly what he teaches me and how to teach me, and you know, the things that I teach you guys, right? Like the different things that I teach you guys, and in my free trading course, if you go to johnsfreegift.com, I've got a free trading course that I give you guys. You know, but like the things that I teach you guys, it took me a bit of time, but through all that process and through that, I started to actually, and it wasn't an overnight thing, right? It went from losing a lot of money all the time to not losing money, to make a little bit of money, to now doing really well from trading. And I want to do this video for you because it's hard. It's hard, right? It really is hard, you know, and you may be at that turn back moment right now where you're just like, oh man. And the thing for me was like, the thing that got me was like, not another red year. Here we go again. I would work, you know, and save money and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just like, oh man, not another red year, you know? Every year was a red year. Every year was a red year. I'd have these periods of doing really well. And then over a period of time, I started to do really, really, really well. So I want to encourage you that most people who have done really good in anything in life, especially this thing called trading, they've gone through hell and back. They've gone through these times where they just want to quit. They just can't find any way out. They've gone into debt. They've blown up trading accounts. And then because they didn't have that quit, because they got to that turn back moment where they just say, this is not for me, but they kept going, and then they kept moving forward, and they kept making the distinctions of starting to do really well out of actually trading. And I'm so grateful that I did stick at it, because here I am today, very, very grateful that the stuff that I know about the markets. I have an incredible coaching program. I have like some of my clients, you know, who, you know, the success stories, especially this year, the success stories have just been totally, totally amazing. Like, you know, I've one of my clients has made almost $300,000 this year, and I'm not saying you're going to do that as well. I'm just saying, you know. And I had another coaching client he made his very first 6-figure profitable trade this year as well too. You know, I've had many clients who have said that they've made their actually coaching, the fee that I charge for my coaching, like they've actually made it back twice. You know, and it's just, yeah, it's just been an amazing journey from there. So I want to encourage you, you know, I really want to encourage you that if you're at that turn back moment, you can do this. You can do this if you don't quit. But it's going to require a different approach, right? A different level of thinking, a different level of discipline. If you seriously want to do this, if you've had a bad year this year in 2024, and you want 2025 to be a much better year, well then you know, right? You've got to change some things, right? You've got to change the way you're thinking about your trading, the way you're approaching the trading. And then from that process, you can start to get ahead. Because when I was down and out and feeling absolutely shit about being a husband, and now being almost have a father at the time as well too, and all that sort of stuff, it was definitely tough. My only hope, guys, is that there's no way around getting through this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to go through it. And it's unfortunate. And that's the reason why that's the only reason why that I think about only a few % of people actually make it in the trading world. Because it takes a lot of shit, and to keep going, and to take a bit of a responsibility to say, the way I'm trading these markets, the way I'm approaching these markets, the way I'm even thinking about these markets is completely wrong, and I need some help. And it's those who actually get that help, exactly what I did. I got the help with my mentor. It's those who actually completely turn around. So if that's you, do not quit. It's tough, it's challenging, it's hard, I know. But if you can start to really dig deep and have a lot more discipline behind you, you can start to do well.